Alright, so welcome to another video on the channel, and in this video we'll be doing the final video for this Betaflight playlist. And we'll be doing servos. So here I have a 15 kilogram torque servo installed into a 3D printed payload dropper. Just basically is the strap. So it's basically something I designed and it works quite well specifically for the Mark 4 frames, but yeah, it's universal on the whole. So I have this servo motor, but the question is, how will it actually work if it has no function to it? Now Betaflight allows you to use servos, and it's quite simple. As much as the best software for servos for FPV will be iNav or ArduPilot. ArduPilot will take priority over all, and we have servos possibilities. Now what my servo actually works with is that servo motor. It has a positive, a ground, and a signal wire, and it goes directly to my LED strip. So positive, ground, and the signal goes to LED. So that LED strip is usually known as the D12 pin. Each pin have their own identifier, and we will find out this in a while. So I'm going to connect my drone to the computer to access Betaflight. First and foremost, I'm going to go to configurations and I'm going to enable servo tilt. If you do not see servo tilt right here, it's because your firmware does not have servos enabled. So you have to flash your firmware and enable enable servos in your additional options. So other options, enable servos. Now if you're going to be using channel forwarding, it's most likely used for actually using more than one servo, but since we're going to be using one servo, it is for, well, this is servo gimbal, therefore we'll be using servo tails. So when you enable this, you press save and reboot, and mine is already saved, so I'm good to go. Now I don't need LED strip here enabled, but I have any LED strip in my firmware because I need the LED strip to have the pin right here. But even if you don't really need LED strip, so first what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to type in resource. You can type in resource list, but just type resource, right? So resource will show every single pin on my board, and it will show the identifier here, which is the pin number. So the physical pin number is mapped as those letters there. So I have 5 servo outputs possible, which is servo 5 to servo 8, and I have the LED strip. Now those are the timers I know that are on my board. A servo can only work on a pin that has a timer. So motors 1 to motors number 4 are the actual motors on my drone, but I have an additional IO, so I can connect another ESC, so I can allow me to have an octocopter. But since I only have a quad X or quadcopter, I have those others free and able to be used. So you have LED strip right here, and this is my other timer right here. Now since my servo is connected to the LED strip physically, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to type in resource LED underscore strip, and here you can see you have some suggestions here, and I'm going to have the word none. So what I'm going to do is going to take the LED strip and assign it to no pins on the board, basically no pins. Right now it's the D12 pin, so I'm going to open Notepad and take note of D12. So let's close this. So LED strip right now is D12, and I'm going to put it as none. I'm going to press enter. So now it shows that resource is freed. So if I type in the same thing, I will not see LED strip there anymore. Now you will not see servo here because servo does not currently have a pin. But to add a servo, you type in servo, sorry, type in resource, servo, and my servo 1, which is my first servo, will be the D12 pin, and then type all this in and then press enter. So now my resource is set, and I type in resource. If I actually get a good look at it, you can see servo 1 is now on the D12 pin. That's generally as simple as that. Now I'm going to type in save because I will do all this, not save it, then wonder why it doesn't work. You need to save it. Now with servo tilt enabled and my resource for my LED strip is now set to none, and I use that pin, the LED strip pin, instead of LED strip, it now mapped to my first servo, my servo 1. Here we have servo 1 right here, that's the name, and I can map a channel right here on it. So if I go to receivers right here, I can turn on my drone. So I'm going to restart my drone here. I'm going to disconnect it and reconnect it because it was in binding mode. So what I'm going to be doing next will basically be identifying which switch I'll be using. I'll go to the receiver tab right here, and I know I have a free switch, and I'll be using aux3 just for this example because I haven't set up any of the switches on the drone because I'll be using that drone for AudioPilot next and iNav. So I'll be using aux3. I'll be going to the servos tab here and I'll be selecting aux3. So I have a main, a mid, and a max. The way to work is that the motor will basically spin based on how far that position is. So servo 1 will be on the aux3 and the rate is 100. The rate basically will tell me the direction that that servo will actually turn. So you can go to 100, you can go to the negative values. So negative values means it's spinning the opposite direction. So I'll leave it as rate 100 and then I'm going to click save. So I'm going to click on live mode and I'm going to save it also and give it a try. So here you can see I have a min and a max. The reason, sorry, a min and a mid. It's only min and mid because this switch does not have a max. It only goes mid to 1500. So what I can do, I can simply put 1500 as my max right here and save. Now the reason why it goes 1500 because aux3, as you can see, the min is 1000, the max is 1500. Unlike this switch here, the max is 2000 because it's a 3-point switch. The max is 2000. So I can have a min and a max, so I can have stationary here and drop payload here, as simple as that. So I can also have it as all the way up here my camera is facing forward, and down here my camera will pivot downwards. So here on servos, now you can see yep, I think I messed it up. So basically it tells me mid right here, so I only have mid and min. So put 1500 here and the max is 2000. Now I'll use aux 5 instead, and then save, just to make it simple for me. And here you can see, so I have min, I have mid, and I have max, just as you will see in the receivers tab here for aux 5. You will see min, mid, and that's max. And that's exactly what you see in the servos here, because max is 2000, just like what you see in receivers. Now when I add a battery onto my drone, it is the moment of truth where I can actually you may not see it, but this is my motor right here, and I can flip it around, and I'm flipping around using this. So generally that's my motor basically doing me some justice right here. And that's it for this video with servo tilt. And the other one you can use is channel forwarding. You can use more than one button for the servo. Generally it's quite simple to do, and I'll be doing that in the next video. But for now, we have completed Betaflight, and thanks for sticking along with this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. The next playlist will be the iNav playlist, and then we move into Audio Pilot. So thanks for watching.